Let's take a look at Follow-Up Boss Smart List collections. Smart List collections are a great way to better organize your smart list within Follow-Up Boss and share them with the appropriate people. So you'll see on your left-hand side, smart lists when you mouse over now pop out. You can see assigned collections, collections below that, and then any smart lists that are not currently attached or assigned to a collection. We'll go through all three of those and how they work. But essentially, they pop out here on your left-hand side. You can drop them down to expand. But for the most part, for right now, there's two things we want to do to prepare for this. If you're a pro or platform user, you're going to want to have the owner account, hop over to Power-Ups, and make sure that the Assigned Smart List Collections power-up is on. It's off by default, and you'll need to be a pro or platform user to be able to turn it on. But you're going to want to turn this on if you want to use the feature where you're assigning collections, which helps you much better control who can see certain smart lists and forces the order of those smart lists, as well as prevents the ability for anybody else to make changes to those, whether on purpose or accidentally, and do anything crazy. So now that we've got this on, I want to hop back into the people screen and back down to manage my lists. So you can see here, I've already got some. I've got a Smart List 0 collection, which are smart lists that are designed to be dynamic and go down in numbers as activity happens. I've got one for agent sphere and past clients. I've got a birthday list, a VIP, as well as a past client sphere smart list. We've got an agent prospecting collection here, which, I think this is a great way to differentiate kind of mindset with agents. Like, this is new people and active people I want to make sure I really get to. Certainly we want them to be prospecting, but I think differentiating these. Another idea is even naming these by day of the week, or if they're daily, weekly, or monthly. There's a lot of cool things you could do with these. But, so again, running back through, these are my assigned collections. I've got a couple of ISA lists and a closed list, as well as a non-assigned collection, which essentially means I've organized these into a collection, but I have not assigned them yet to anyone beyond potentially the individual lists can still be assigned to people, kind of like the old way. But in regular collections, agents can still change the order of these. It doesn't force the order the same way that it does if they're assigned. So I do recommend launching lists under assigned with your team, but you can also build them as a collection before you assign them and get all your lists right and do what you want to do. So, and then below that, we've got smart lists that aren't yet in a collection. These still work. They're still visible to anybody who they are shared with, but they are not in a collection. So there's a few things you can do about that. If you want to do that, you can move it to a collection. You can do that certainly from here, but and certainly delete or clean up. One of the ideas I actually had behind this particular collection was that a lot of people do have a lot of older smart lists or smart lists they're not using or they're not sure if they're using or need. So one of the ideas I had was to make a collection of smart lists to clean up as an easier way to kind of put these aside, maybe hide them, so to speak, from anyone else, and determine if these are really useful, if they need to be modified, or if you just want to get rid of them. Tackling through that. You can also see it's great to add emojis. You can see on the left-hand side when they're collapsed that you can do that. So I'm going to hop in real quick just to a collection in general and see some of the things we can do. I'll use this first assigned collection. So if I hit edit, I can add an emoji. I can change the name. I can select or remove lists that are in that collection. And then obviously once you have made any changes to it, you are going to want to save that. Another thing you can do in the individual smart list is hit the edit button. You can change the name or the emoji of that particular smart list, but you can also do a number of things now as far as adding links or emojis or a numbered list or a bulleted list, as well as bold and some additional formatting things. But this is really useful for adding a link to a script, a link to a Loom video explaining how you want agents to work the smart list, a numbered list that says, hey, please call number 1, number 2, change the stage, number 3, leave a note. Really useful now that you can provide instructions for each smart list, as well as links to any sort of educational video or scripts or anything like that. Again, be sure you hit save on that. And you can also find that within the manage screen as well. Certainly you can edit the smart list there as well, or move it to or from a collection or anything to that effect. You can also change the order of these collections. It depends a bit on who they are assigned to, the order they'll show up to people. But if you have kind of a primary, everybody's on this list, probably good to put it at the top, because again, they do show up in this order here on the left-hand side. So pretty straight ahead, but a really great way to manage your smart lists, force emojis a bit better. There's a lot more emojis now as well from when the system was launched. So a lot of great things that you can do in here. Just wanted to show a couple ideas that we had that we've been using that may make sense. So again, some primary lists here, potentially Sphere and past clients as a separate list. And again, whether that's just a different mindset, or if you say, hey, on Thursdays, we hit our agent Sphere and past client lists, prospecting, potentially ISA lists, even differentiating new leads for ISAs versus prospecting lists. Closed, again, things you could check here. Smart list to clean up was another idea. As I mentioned before, day of the week. There's a lot of cool things you could do with this. And I would imagine once you start using it a bit and seeing all the things it does, you'll have additional ideas on cool things that you can do. So I hope that helps. But again, generally under people, you get over here, get into manage to be able to update things. Like most things in Follow Up Boss, there is an article right here at the top that you can hit. That will open up and give you some even deeper detail on some specific things and how to do those. So always look for those in Follow Up Boss as well. It can take you right to some things. But I hope these are useful tips and you're enjoying using collections and they're beneficial for your business.